Hi, Virgos, and welcome to your July 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. So, you guys are kind of in a blank slate. I know Aquarius was really struggling getting here, but I feel like you guys are there. So, there's like a similarity that you're having with Aquarius, but you have so much energy of new beginnings coming in, of being able to start over. I get the sense that a lot of you have had the breakup, or a lot of you have initiated the breakup, or initiated the divorce, or put in your 2 weeks' notice, or are in the process of starting something like that. It seems to me that you are kind of through the ending phase, although some of you may still be in the process of doing so. But I think that in like April and May and June, you guys were in the ending phase, and it seems to me like July comes in to really give you like the very fresh state of, being done with the endings and into the new territory. You guys have two aces, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, so there's like that brand new energy relating to your logic and relating to your inspiration and motivation. So you seem to be getting new intellectual property as well as new inspiration. So that's really good to see for you guys. There's also a really strong desire to build something new. You have Three of Pentacles in your reading, and also just a really good balance of elemental energy. You guys have cups, swords, wands, and pentacles. So you guys have all four, and also major and minor arcana. So there's a little bit of everything for you guys. I really think that you have the potential to be in a really amazing place in July. It seems collectively that everybody might be getting a little bit happier right now. But it's interesting to see as some things start to be delivered to you that you've always wanted, or you come into a space that you really feel like you're getting more happy and more of what you need. It's interesting to see how it really gives a stark contrast to where you once were and to the difficulty that you've been through. And sometimes through that, you see that even more distinctly. So July can also serve as a period of time for you, Virgo, where you try to understand how things were, or you try to understand what actually happened, because things have really evened out for you in the sense of your mundane life. It seems like you can really grasp what you've been and where you're going. You can really put your hands on it. It seems very tangible to me. So some of you are building something. Some of you may be building a house, or building, or your job relates to building something very tangible. But regardless of whether it's even building a relationship, you can really, just as if by touching it slightly, you can really change everybody involved, the outcome of everybody involved. So do understand and respect the power that you have right now, Virgos. Even if things feel quite mundane, as I said, you have a lot more power, I think, than you're giving yourself credit for, or you're being given credit for. I feel a slight sense of pain as you come into this new beginning and this new territory, because you do have Eight of Cups reversed in your reading as well. So it's like you're maybe putting a bit too much time and energy into thinking about what you're walking away from, or again, how things used to be. Because in the present, sometimes it's hard to realize how things are until you're like in hindsight, and hindsight seems to be kind of harsh for you right now, I'm not gonna lie. But despite that, there is something very new, very tangible, and energy consuming for you that seems positive to me. And even if you feel like you're kind of struggling in the depths, or you seem very consumed by the shadow aspect of your nature, there's something really good that comes from this period of time, and something really wholesome to be capitalized on for a lot of time to come. So I want to go ahead and start looking at your reading from the week to week to understand specifically what else is coming forward for you guys. So week 1 in July, you guys have Eight of Cups reversed, rooted down by strength. You are gaining endurance, fortitude, and power through what you walked away from, through the endings that you've experienced very recently. And by very recently, it could be like in the last 3 or 4 months, I feel. Again, this is where I see this tendency for you guys to maybe spend too much time and energy on what you walked away from versus the actual action itself. As I say to Scorpios really often, it would be really nice to see you guys thinking more like what you're walking toward versus what you're walking away from. That will be a very powerful new perspective to take on this, because there's been something in you that felt ungraceful or like not eloquent in the way that you were dealing with things, which is hard for you because Virgo is so like graceful and eloquent, generally speaking. And I think that you're gaining that back. Like you finally are starting to come into a place where you feel like you can portray yourself the way that you want to be, although there's got to be a bit of a disconnection from that at the same time. Because I think that you've always portrayed yourself the way that you wanted to, but just in the recent past, due to all of the events, like you became too hyper analytical of yourself. And there is a need to soften the voice that you use to communicate with yourself. I also feel that you gain something in the first week that is very lasting and very fulfilling, because the Strength card does have the infinity sign, and it is also number 8. So in the major arcana. So you're gaining something that lasts a really long time here through like walking away from a difficult situation. It feels to me that you're walking into something that is much more wholesome. Some of you may have left one relationship just to find yourself in another relationship. And I think that you're worried potentially about how the person that you left feels, or like what they're saying about you. Like, even if you weren't cheating on them, they might be saying that you did the whole time because they don't understand how you could so quickly be with somebody else. That's a potential for some of you. And you can also be on the other side of that too. You don't understand why a lot of people left you and so quickly went into a new relationship. And there's some healing to be done there for sure. I see you changing the way that you portray yourself in general. As I already said something about that, but you are becoming more consistent. I feel with like the archetype of infinity that Strength does represent, it's like the way that you come off and the energy that you give people is stepping into a more consistent place. I think that that's been really scattering for you lately, because you've really been able to support certain people at certain times, but then at other times you just can't really communicate, or you can't really be there. So I do feel like you're gaining an energy and a strength to like even that out and find a middle ground there. In the second week, you guys have 10 of Pentacles. You're down by 4 of Pentacles reversed. It's a good money month for you, and especially in the second week, you can get the bonus or the promotion or the upward mobility in your financial situation for sure. This can also represent a bit of familial tension, because 10 of Pentacles is all about traditional values and the bloodline. And being rooted down by 4 of Pentacles, it's like an old secret or an old grudge or an old something that's not been spoken about or that's not really illuminated, that can come forward this month. So I feel like either you're having a lot of new financial abundance, or you're really reworking your financial system, or you're having some kind of family crisis potentially that doesn't really involve you per se, or it's not really up to you to fix it, but you're kind of having to deal with the with picking up the pieces of other people's anger or other people's resentment, or what other people can't let go of. There is something about what other people can't let go of with you guys, and you seem to kind of find yourself in the crossfire of that. So yeah, it's going to be a really good time to kind of get out of the crossfire to pervade the crossfire for sure. It can also be a sign that there might be something that you need to let go of personally, something that you've not really given attention to. I feel like you've already let go of a lot of the things that were most obvious, but you might be holding on to something from a past relationship or a past version of yourself that you didn't even realize was having that much control over you. For example, if you were cheated on, it feels like you've let go of the actual process of cheating, but you might still be holding on to a certain coping mechanism that you were employing to get over that is no longer necessary. So do think about that during the second week for sure. So the third week comes for you guys, and this is where things get a lot better. I feel like the third week is really, really good. You have Ace of Wands reversed, rooted down by 3 of Pentacles. I think that through letting go of something that was really having a lot of negative control over you, you finally step into a more inspired place. And it's like an inspiration to build a foundation or to build a solid structure to hold yourself up in the future. 3 of Pentacles has been coming up so much in private readings and in general readings. And I feel that everybody collectively is in this place of building a foundation for the future. For certain people, it's kind of a stressful process, though, because you know that once you build a foundation, you then have to use it. You then have to build something on top of that that's a little bit more distinct or focused or specific. And with the Saturn retrograde that we're having in Sag, it's like, I don't want to be specific. I don't want to pigeonhole myself into any kind of one place where I don't have options, because it seems like there are so many options right now. And it seems like you can achieve your goals and you can get from point A to point B, but there's just like 17,000 different ways to get there. And you get so focused on that it's hard to even move, period. I feel like the third week of July gives you an option to fix that, because all of your creative energy is focused downward into the foundation, not outward into the rest of the world. now may not really be a time, Virgo, where you have a lot of excess energy to spend on everybody else or to spend on fixing other people's problems. It feels like your motivation, adaptability, and firepower, per se, is focused inward on yourself. And through honoring that and acknowledging that fact, you can really build something beautiful to kind of catapult off of in the future. In the fourth week, you guys have the Sun reversed, rooted down by Three of Cups reversed. Both of those cards have been playing a big role lately as well. So it feels like there's something that's being illuminated that's been hidden for a long time, that you weren't prepared to see or that you didn't expect to be the case. It's like there are a lot of unknown truths for you guys coming out, as I just had a private reading that made me really think about this. I feel like something really good to think about for you guys is like this question specifically. Was it a lie or was it just a truth that I didn't know? It seems like there's a philosophical evolution happening between like somebody lying to you or you having been lied to or just not knowing the truth. You know, it seems to be a subtle difference there that can really give you a lot of power, because I feel like there was just something that was unspoken to you, Virgo, that really hurt you and that really felt like a lie. And I'm not saying that it wasn't a lie, but there's a need to like shift the perspective, because when you coin something an unknown truth, it becomes less about finding out. You know, if it's a lie, it's like you get this deep need within you to find out the truth. Like, I've been lied to and I want to know what the truth was, and that can make your ego spin out of control. If it's an unknown truth, it still can, but it's like it's just there and it just exists. I feel like you need to coin things unknown truths versus lies right now, and you can have some healing, because I do feel like some of you Virgos have been lied to and you're like really dying to know what the actual truth was just for the sake of knowing it. And you can get that in the fourth week. The Sun reverse coming in can sometimes say that the only reason that you don't know the truth is because it would be too blinding to you right now. And even though you feel like you just want to know for the sake of knowing, it's like you know enough. You know enough to make the changes, and you know enough to elicit this new stage of your life. But some of the specific details might be enough to like keep you in bed, or to keep you not in that sort of Ace of Wands, Three of Pentacles place where you're having all that motivation towards your own foundation. You know enough, Virgos. Like, that's a really good message that's being really made very clear to me. I just want to keep saying, like, you know enough to like go forward, to leave this behind for sure. You can also experience some negative gossip, I feel, in the fourth week, with that being rooted down by Three of Cups. This says to me that you can learn the truth from people that you didn't even know were involved, or from people that you didn't expect to hear it from. So be careful about like who you're telling your truth to as well. I'm not saying lie to people, but it seems like if there's anything that you want kept secret or that you want kept privy, then you don't need to be saying it, because it feels like there are people around you who don't keep secrets well. It's just not a good time for secrets in general with the Saturn retrograde. Like, if you can just be honest with everybody, that's really nice. If you can just be honest with yourself, it's nice. Because there's such a huge evolution happening within you, Virgo, and such a huge, great, amazing idea coming forward to you with Ace of Swords as your central theme. You have a lot of power to come up with new ideas for the future. For those of you in business, or for those of you who are entrepreneurs, you can really get amazing ideas right now. You can really like go really far with your intellectual property. Even those of you who are like artists or creative people who make your money that way, you can really up your income through a new way of like channeling it, through a new way of marketing it. And then the fact that that touches Ace of Swords too, and you've got that like kind of perfect harmony with the Ace of Wands reversed and Ace of Swords upright. It's like your artistic nature and your motivational fiery nature is completely harmonizing and integrating with your more air-based, more logical capacity. Let me tell you guys how employable and like profitable you can become very soon if you can focus on that aspect versus the lies of these old romantic relationships that mean nothing to you in the future. Focus on your marketability, on your profitability, on your creative projects, and on your entrepreneurial endeavors right now, and you will really find yourself in a brand new reality where where you can find the truth finally. You know, the truth will come to you, Virgo, when it no longer matters. That's the way of life, and it's kind of hard to accept that sometimes, but also a good dose of acceptance is really good for you right now. That the truth is overrated sometimes, especially when you know where you are and you know who you are. If you're relying too much on the truth of other people, or if you're relying too much on getting past lies of other people, it's a strong sign that you're not comfortable in who you are. So it's really important to find that base within you so that it no longer matters so much, you know, because you'll always know enough to know whether you need people around you. You'll know if the person that you're married to or in the relationship with is cheating on you. You know, now, needing to know those specific details as a Scorpio myself, of course I would want to know those things. Of course, I would like probably self-destruct without knowing those details. But as your spiritual counselor, Virgos, I can tell you that all you need to know is that it happened. And if there's too much concentration on the ifs, ands, and buts of the entire situation, then you just kind of set yourself up into a cycle of self-sabotage. So allow yourself to have enough, and allow yourself to create something beautiful this month in July. I love you guys. If you would like to book a private reading with me, you can click the center of your screen right now. Also, since we're moving into Cancer time, I've provided the last 2 months of your reading so that you can use this as a central hub to do a bit of reflection and a bit of shadow work, look back. And I so appreciate your comments, likes, and subscriptions. And I will be seeing you guys in August. I'm wishing you so much luck. Bye.